Hello, and welcome back to Broken Respawn, a podcast where we talk about all sorts of things, gaming and other things that interest us. And today, I'm TBSliver. Tomorrow I might not be. And I'm joined today by Lucian and hopefully, if life finds a way, Sarin.
Life always finds a way, but it might find a way to kill Sarin. So we'll see.
Yeah. Everything conspired against us being able to go live, and we're just like, you know what? Screw it. We'll try it with 2 and see if it works.
Yes, exactly. But yes, welcome everybody to the Broken Respawn podcast. We are on episode 10.
We've had double digits.
Powerwashing cats.
Oh, washing cats. Yes.
Why are you power washing cats, Sliver? What did the cats do to you?
I didn't. They looked at me funny, okay, and they shat on my lawn.
Did they grow thumbs and steal your milk?
Yes.
I see.
No, that's in relation to the games that we've been playing recently, which have been mostly about power washing and cats.
Pretty much.
Lucian, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I've been playing a lovely little game called Stray, which I'm apparently not allowed to talk that much about. For fear of spoiling everybody, because everybody wants to play it. And it is one of those games that I'm finally like, yes, I'm ahead of the curve. I played it first. And I'm like, I want to talk about it. And I'm like, I can't talk about it. Shit. Damn it.
Welcome to our life when we're trying not to spoil things for anybody else.
Yeah.
Spoiler cast to be real. So yeah, Lucian can't mention much about it until me and Sarin have probably had a chance to play it.
Indeed.
Which might not be, might be an unfortunate
I will say, I played the game over the course of 2 streams, right? And I could have completed the game in probably 3 hours or less on my first run if I'd really wanted to. I could have done that. I wanted to take my time with it, and I am glad that I did.
Yeah.
So when you play it, take your time. Don't rush.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of little things that you'll miss if you rush.
I think that's definitely been one of the few, if almost only, criticism for the game is. I think I've seen 2 criticisms for the game at total at the moment. One of them is total playtime. That like the average playthrough is about 8 hours.
Yes,
average play, which but it's
a respectable amount of playtime, honestly,
for a story, and it's a heavy story game, isn't it?
It's a relatively heavy story game. But I completed my playthrough in about 7 hours.
Okay.
So I'd say average is 7 hours, not 8.
Yeah.
Especially considering I was wandering around and meowing at random robots for most of the time.
Yeah, that's the bit I want to do a lot of. Yes, meow at random robots. I think the only other criticism I've seen is, and I see a lot of evidence that people are criticizing for it, is that you can't customize the cat. You are a ginger tabby?
You are a ginger tabby. You do not get a choice as to what cat you play. I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, that's kind of fair.
A lot of games these days will give you a protagonist that you can customize, and I like that. I do. I enjoy that. I feel that if you had the ability to customize your protagonist, you would feel a lot more, perhaps, emotionally involved. But at the same time, I don't think that would be a good thing.
Yeah. It changes the story slightly. Because it's no longer specifically about this, and especially if they've made reference to the colour or the type, like some particular physical feature of your character in the game. That kind of is lost when you have, character customization and stuff like that. You see that in I think I've seen that once or twice in Outriders, where it's not where like they didn't get the voice lines quite. They didn't get the 2 options for voice lines for the male and female characters, and it's just like okay. Once or twice they just don't make sense. But yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I have no complaints about Stray. I have absolutely no complaints about it. I loved every moment of that game.
That's good.
And that's a rare thing for me. There are very few games that I'm like, I have loved everything about this. There is maybe, if I look at my library, there is maybe 1 or 2 games out of the well over 200 games that I own that I'm actually like, yes, this one, I loved this one. Aragami was one. I loved Aragami, no complaints about it. Stronghold HD, I'd say, was another, because it was relatively old and I really don't have any complaints about it. It was challenging and I enjoyed that. And Stray at this point. I'd say Hades as well, but I did have some complaints about Hades, honestly. There were a few.
That's fair. But it's still a good, like, it's still up there in, like, the top 5, top 10 games you've played.
Oh, yeah. Hades is still, like, up there at the top in my favorites. Yeah. And my favorites library is quite small. There are 14 games in it total. 15 now with Stray.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, overall, just...
I've been culling my favorites on Steam because it's just like I had like 30 of them in there because it's just because favorites is at the top. I like favorites to me these days is the ones you're playing actively.
That's fair. I don't view it so much as the ones you're playing as the ones that I have enjoyed so much that I will go back to play. Basically.
That's fair.
So at the moment, my favorites library, and I literally just realized that there are a few that I won't go back to play anymore. So it's down to 12 now.
Okay.
But my favorites library is currently Aragami, Dwarf Romantic, Frostpunk, Grim Dawn, Hades, Plants vs. Zombies, Space Engineers, SteamWorld Heist, Stray, Stronghold HD, War for the Overworld, and World Adrift. Those are my favorites. And the thing is, out of all of those games, Worlds Adrift is probably my all-time favorite, but I can't play it anymore. But it's still in my favorites.
Yeah, I mean that's something as well. I find is like my favorites list. My favorites list includes ones I outright am hating at the moment, because the top one's Atlas.
Oh God! Don't talk to me about that.
Just Atlas, Deep Rock Galactic, Factorio, Forager, Hades, Monster Hunter Rise makes sense. Monster Hunter World makes sense. Raft, which I'm basically probably never gonna get a chance to go back to. Risk of Rain 2. I'm surprised that's not in your favorite list. Actually, honestly, so Lucian.
Honestly, Risk of Rain 2 has never been a favorite of mine. It's been one that I have strongly enjoyed. But it's always had some bits and pieces that I don't enjoy as much. And I enjoy it with friends, but I can't play it on my own.
That's
realistically.
true.
I don't enjoy playing it on my own. So I just sort of didn't think it was good enough for my favorites.
That's fair.
There are some games that have definitely made it into my favorites, but Risk of Rain, not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. Like, I've played Risk of Rain enough solo that it's a challenging game. It's a multiplayer favorite in that case. Then,
yes, it's a multiplayer favorite. Yeah,
it's almost like they need multiple favorite things and tags and all that. Oh wait, they've got category lists and shit.
Well, yeah, you can make custom category lists.
Yeah,
but
I have a huge category list. But yeah, I've got games in here as well that I've not played in ages, like Scum, Slay the Spire, Shapes. SnowRunner, Stationeers, Valheim, and Warframe are the other ones I've got in favourites at the moment. So I think, yeah, my favourites list is ones that I keep meaning to come back to. Which is unfortunate.
I'm relatively excited, actually.
Oh?
The Warframe devs announced a new game coming out called Soulframe.
Yeah, did we... I can't remember if we mentioned this last time. But yes.
I believe we skimmed over it briefly.
Yeah. Has there been more information out on that? Because I apart from the name and it being I don't know, it's not a prequel, but is it even in the same universe?
They've released a trailer.
Oh yeah, no, the trailer I saw in the is this the original cinematic trailer that they did in for the major announcement, or is this a new trailer?
I believe it was the original trailer.
Okay.
At least the one I'm talking about, anyway. But they also have a website, and I want you to take a look at this website very quickly.
Yeah, I've actually. Oh God, it's making noise. It can shut up. Not that one. That one. Hello.
So, the key for this you can actually decipher from the title, basically.
I have actually deciphered this, and I can't remember. Oh yes, I can see it now. Yeah.
Yes.
Hashtag spoilers, but we're going to do it anyway.
Well, yeah.
I hadn't actually noticed the fact that it's got almost all the letters in to start with. I didn't notice that. I hadn't noticed that before, so I just sat here pressing the button and almost cheating.
It randomizes. It randomizes.
Okay. So I've got 3 of them. I need to figure out the other ones, which I think is that one, not that one, not that one, that one. I think that one's unique.
There we go.
Nope, still haven't got it. Nope. I can't remember. Yeah, it changes it every time you reload the page, so it's one of those ones where you have to figure out which of the multiple.
No, it doesn't change it every time you reload the page. So the first one is like squiggly line with the dot on the top. Okay, well, anyway. So the website is actually quite cool. It shows quite a lot of the concept art for Soulframe, which I quite like. And then they've got the reservation of your envoy title, which I think is like your sort of early access and reservation of your name on launch, which tells me that I think we're relatively close to seeing a decent amount of what the game's about and a decent amount of actual gameplay. At least I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I know they've announced that it's coming out next year, at least for early access, sort of first look and sort of things. But whether how much of the game is going to be done, because I can't remember if Warframe itself was in an early access-ish state. That word is really overused for a fair amount of time.
Now, one of the things that I've actually noticed is that on the concept art, right at the bottom, there is actually a runic alphabet.
Yeah.
Or runic lettering with titles for these pieces.
Oh God, so there is. Okay.
Now I haven't taken the time to translate them because I see some symbols here that I definitely wouldn't be able to translate because we don't have what they represent, other than the pieces that we have from the key. But I would be very interested in knowing what exactly those titles say.
Yeah. To be fair, it shouldn't be that difficult to decipher because if you look carefully enough, the shapes have letters in them. But you'd have to look at closer, and I'm not pulling that up right now because it's just my brain works that way. I don't know if anyone else's does. I can see like the E in the particular E they've got there, and the D in what they use for the D.
I'm fairly sure the O looks nothing like a squiggly line with a dot on it.
No, but it's got an O at the beginning of it.
Does it?
Yeah. It's got a loop at the beginning. It's not complete.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you define the S then?
The S, turn it on its side.
You're just whatever. Anyway,
I did look at it and went, the S is the weirdest one, but it does make sense. But
I can see the K, and I can sort of see the Y.
And the E and the D.
The O, the S, and the E, I'm less sure about. The D I can sort of see.
Yeah. But there are, we could read through that. But no, I'm looking forward to, especially I've heard some rumors go around about it that it's it's going to be less of the ultra high speed that Warframe is, which always has been.
I'm hopeful.
It always has been a contentious point because it's fun.
Yeah.
It is like the movement in Warframe is one of the most fun movement types in a video game that isn't a flying game. And although it does have flight mini games almost in it, but I think Soulframe's going for more of the heavier RPG style, proper MMO RPG style.
I'm hopeful because honestly, like the Warframe devs have made incredible stories in the past, so I'm quite excited to see what they come up with in what seems like a much more sort of steampunk style medieval setting, which I'm quite excited for, to be honest. It's very much up my alley, as it were.
I'm looking forward to what's going to come out for it, whether it's going to be interesting, how interesting it's going to be, and also the thing that intrigues me as well is are they going to borrow ideas from Warframe, which I can see them doing for things like the monetization of it?
Perhaps. I mean, we know it's going to be free on launch.
Have they actually announced that? I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
They have said that Soulframe will be free on launch.
Awesome.
That's why they're allowing people to reserve their titles, their names.
Right. I've seen reserved names things before on paid launches, so that's why I didn't.
Immediately we know that Soulframe will be free on launch, just like Warframe, basically. So yeah.
No, that's interesting, and I'm going to be intrigued when they actually get some gameplay, even if it's
developer Digital Extremes has announced a new MMO, Soulframe. Like Warframe, Soulframe will be a free-to-play open-world game.
Okay.
So free-to-play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more information on what that gameplay looks like and how, obviously with Warframe, it's very mission. You dispatch from your spaceship, you do a mission with 4 of you, and then everything's 1 to 4 player missions. Is Soulframe going to be a different thing like that? Because they also came out with a different bit, which is their I want to say the Davros principle. I'm probably butchering
the Davros principle.
Davros? That's not the one. That is the wrong franchise. It began with a D.
Do you mean the Telos principle?
Telos, thank you. It didn't even begin with a D. Never mind. Telos principle, which is a roguelite style
puzzle game.
In Warframe.
Yeah.
So it's actually part of Warframe, and you do things in there and get power up some stuff. You unlock things through it that then you can use in your mainframe and all that. All that normally in the rest of the game. And that's also intriguing to me. And I don't know when that's due out.
We'll see.
But that's definitely.
We'll see. It's definitely. No, the Telos principle is a different game.
Yeah, we both got it wrong.
I'm thinking of one thing. You're thinking of Doctor Who.
What are we actually talking? What are we thinking of? It's the Warframe roguelike. I'm just going to put that in. I got it right with D. The Duviri Paradox.
The Duviri Paradox. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Jeez. We will get there eventually. We should write this. It's almost like we should write some of this down. But yeah, no.
It's almost like we used to have someone to write this down for us.
Yeah, but then we kind of just started running. We found that the notes were a little bit too much at times. So you know what? Let's make it up as we go along. I have notes. I've been ignoring them. But yes, no, that one also looks interesting, especially in the Warframe universe. And there's major story spoilers in there. So if you're working through the story, be careful especially how far through you are. I know I've seen a spoiler for it on it. I don't know what it means because I'm not that far into the story yet. So we'll find that.
I'll be quite honest. I'm probably never going to play Warframe much in the future.
Yeah.
If Soulframe comes out and it is something that I enjoy, I will probably play a decent amount of that on stream.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a game that is very much up my alley.
Yeah, it's got...
I'm sorry, that massive gauntlet arm? Yes.
There's definite story to that, because that was what the main character in the video had, and it was just like, okay, what's going on? Okay, there's some major amounts of lore and stuff in this. And also, it's like it screams sort of monster hunting as well, with the giant puppy in the actual intro.
Perhaps, although that also screams mount to me, or pet, so you know.
Yeah, but it's like the actual trailer just definitely screams something from that in the actual
It doesn't feel as slow as Monster Hunter, I will say that. But it doesn't feel anywhere near as fast as Warframe.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, at the very least.
Yeah, gameplay wise, it's not a big thing. And for those that are wondering, the puppy, I'm just showing that bit of the trailer. Big puppy. This is why I think some sort of monster hunter, as in like, or monster hunter helper sort of thing. That's why I say that, because it's just like there's not really a decent spare term. The fact that there's a game called Monster Hunter is not related to this, but that is a big puppy.
It's very big. It's like when it first got to its feet, I was like, "Hold on, that's bigger than I expected," sort of thing.
Yeah, puppy looks down on you.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, so that's something that intrigues me as to what that's about. What creature that is? Why? What you do with it? Is it something almost like a Pokemon style thing, or something different to that? How big would its parents be? No, wait. If that's a baby pupper, what's the big one like?
But yeah, I'm excited to see where Soulframe leads.
Yeah.
In more news, speaking of games coming out soon that I'm excited about, Nightingale.
Oh God, we're back on Nightingale. Oh no.
Yes, we're back on Nightingale. Nightingale recently released some updates, some interesting news, and they also organized and put together a community Discord for Nightingale.
That's nice.
So there is now a Nightingale community Discord that exists. I've already linked their announcement channels concerning the game and concerning the lore into my Discord, so you can get those updates there as well. They've also released two particular things on 15 books and 15 films and TV shows that inspired Nightingale devs. Like the lore and the stories that have inspired them to make the game, basically.
Interesting. And there's some interesting ones on there as well, actually. Yeah, there
are, and the one that I was actually most interested in is actually at the top of the list when it comes to the things that they are they're using as inspiration for to watch, and it is a show called Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, or Norrell, depending on where you come from. And it's interesting because it's a 7-episode long show that was originally broadcast by the BBC, I think. It definitely feels like a BBC production, trust me on that. And it outlines the idea of magic in sort of Victorian Edwardian England.
Okay.
And I can tell where they've gotten a lot of their inspiration, especially for the characters of the Fae.
I mean, I see one in this further down, the Pan's Labyrinth. It's very much like, okay, yeah. I can see I think the style came from that a lot because of the movie. Because of the movie. Is it the movie or the book that they've linked to?
Yes.
but there is a definite style to Pan's Labyrinth in the movie that gives a lot of. You can kind of see where the inspiration may have come from.
Yes. So I'm very much intrigued by a lot of these different pieces. They've also linked to Nosferatu, for example. They've linked to a variety of different shows and films. Even Mr. Turner, which is about a painter, they've linked to as part of the inspiration for the game. And I'm very interested in seeing where it's going next.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get into the beta, but we'll see.
Yeah. With that, it's very much very much what's who are they going to let in? And,
well, I actually made a video on speculation, facts, and lore for Nightingale and what they've released so far the other day.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very interested in seeing where this goes, and I really shouldn't talk about this more because I will just
keep going.
Spend the entire stream talking about it. So,
the one thing I'm hopeful is that, especially after several releases recently, it lives up to its hype. That is the one thing that I am just kind of going, oh god, is this...
Well, one thing that I'm finding out more and more about Nightingale is the fact that the way the multiplayer works is going to be a little bit Valheim-esque.
Okay.
So the way it's been described, right, is you will have a home realm that is yours alone to build in, right?
Okay.
And then you will be able to invite people into that home realm, or go to other people's realms, or go to completely new realms entirely with a party.
Okay.
So you've sort of got that, this is your home, and you can bring people to your home, or you can go to other people's home, and you will still be using that character, basically.
Okay, I see what you mean by the Valheim style. So it's going to be Valheim style character versus instead of like to give one that's got some people were miffed
at least
about
that's how it's been described to me at the very least, and like that makes, to a degree, it makes a decent amount of sense. I'm hopeful that there are also cases that we can just like shove a server online and go, here, log in when you want to, basically. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. There are definitely some interesting things to do with that.
I'm very hopeful that they'll have community servers anyway, or dedicated servers.
I believe that they will.
Because for the simple fact of there's been so many times, and your one of your favorite games got bitten by the fact that you couldn't make community servers. The game is now dead.
So,
and I
things...
really hope that's not going to be something it suffers from.
Okay, so let's go through.
Oh dear, what have I undone? I think this will be something we look at. Maybe in a bit. Maybe.
No. Here's the thing. They did a Q&A about this stuff, right? They did a Q&A, and there is a section on servers. So let's go through that very quickly because it's not very long.
Okay.
Question: what happens when only part of a group goes to a new realm, or do all players have to stay in one realm at a time? If we all have to stay in one realm, what happens when one group leaves the respite realm, i.e. your home realm, and then someone else tries to log into that respite realm? Answer: players can choose whether or not to join their friends in other realms, so you can absolutely be split between different realms. As for someone else logging in, they will need to be given a party invite, and they will be able to choose as to who in your party they would like to be teleported to. Okay. Question: will the world save data be hosted in the cloud such that any previous player can start the world when no one else is hosting, or will the world save be tied to the original host and only be accessible via that player hosting? Answer: yes. World save data is hosted in the cloud. The world save will be hosted by a specific player. Other players in your party will be able to continue playing if the host disconnects, but they won't be able to spin it up themselves.
Okay, so that's cloud. That they mentioned cloud specifically there?
Yes.
That's their servers.
However,
sort of thing.
However, question: I know the details of dedicated servers are still being worked on, but is there any info you can supply us regarding them, player cap or server specs? Right now, we're looking between 6 to 10 players in a realm. Much like PC specs, it's a little early for us to share other specific details as we're still exploring a bunch of things. So dedicated servers are going to be possible. They just don't know how well they'll work yet.
Okay. That's something that intrigues me, because especially with like the player cap there, knowing how many players you could shove into a server, #Atlas, that makes it interesting, especially with the ability to split across multiple realms. Maybe it's maybe they'll have dedicated servers that spin up the save or something like that, but that's definitely something that we'll have to wait until they actually release it to show. So, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, two more questions on the server end of things. Question: can players control access to the realm their estate is in, i.e. the respite realm, such that they can invite friends over and give them access to resources without leaving them out for just anyone to take? Answer: players can invite people to visit their respite realm and kick people from their realm. We are investigating more specific access controls, but currently, if you invite someone into your realm, they have total access to everything within it. Fair enough.
Interesting.
Question: will characters be tied to specific games/servers, or will we be able to take them haunting around like in Terraria? Answer: players can have multiple characters, and any one of those can join any other player realms once invited.
Terraria is a good example as well for that.
Or Starbound. Yeah. Starbound's also a good example.
I keep getting those, like, Starbound and Terraria are a pair of games that it's just like they came out in such close, like, to my mind, came out so close together that I kept thinking they were the same developer.
They're quite identical, but Starbound is made by Chucklefish.
Yeah. Made by different people, so it just so happened.
There is a very lengthy Q&A thing that they've done. That they've talked about a lot of different things, but I'm not going to go through them all right now because it is lengthy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah, okay. So yeah, no, Nightingale sounds interesting for that side of things. Again, it's one of those ones. That's
also,
like,
Nightingale will have pets.
Oh dear.
You will be able to have pets in Nightingale. They haven't looked into mounts or anything like that.
I want a dragon.
You want a dragon?
Dragon.
You want a dragon? You want a dragon?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Do you have something you want to talk about?
I have something I want to talk
about.
about.
I sort of monopolized the past
little bit,
half an hour of the stream.
Yeah, I mean, which one to talk about? Power Wash Simulator or Pico Park? Pico Park tempts me to talk about. Or Zell, yeah. Well, let's go for the one that we both played for a bit, which is actually, I'm going to go for Pico Park first.
Oh, God.
Which was one that not this Wednesday, not yesterday, but the previous Wednesday, I decided to splurge and splash out to the standard crew to try. And it's a multiplayer, team-based platformer.
Puzzle
platformer with multiple different levels and things where you have to work together to finish. And oh my word, I absolutely adored it.
I think by the end of it, I was in the middle of an anxiety attack. I'll be honest. That game gave me so much headache, so much grief.
I absolutely adored it. But yes, it's not. Yeah, it's a co-op action platform. It's not a complex game in terms of like mechanics or anything like that. Like you are a little cat. You can jump. You can pick up occasional things, and you have to work together to do something like get across the bridge. But it scales itself based on the number of players. So if there's 2 players, things are a certain height. If there's 3 players, they're a bit taller, so on and so forth. And yeah, this puzzle, the coin puzzle, was just. I think we had to work together to finish things in a time limit. And it looks like there's some puzzles that we never did that were just entirely insane. Like red light, green light, and stuff like that. But I absolutely adored it, partially because it drove everyone else up the creek. But yeah, it's definitely one for the if you don't like if find out how much you don't like each other or like each other very quickly.
It's very much the sort of Monopoly-esque style game of by the end of this, you're either going to be sobbing in each other's arms or you are going to be shouting the most vitriolic things at each other.
Yes. And the one thing we never did was endless mode, which is just insane.
And I'm thankful for it. I would have probably started shouting at you at that point.
Co-op.
Oh God, there was a Flappy Bird level.
Yeah, you remember that one. But yeah, there's a Flappy Bird, but it's 4-player Flappy Bird.
Actual Flappy Bird level.
Yeah, where it swaps between people and you've got to jump when it's you.
That's awful.
That's brilliant.
That's awful.
I mean, it's designed as a local co-op game. But the new version came with added multiplayer online multiplayer, which is how we were able to do it. I can definitely see that being a great party game. Like
sure,
I'm looking forward. Yeah, that's the kind of like nice and simple party game. You get a few beers around, a few beers out, and stuff like that. So that's Pico Park was definitely one of my highlights of last week. Driving you lot up the wall is actually kind of fun.
You don't say. You wonder why I do it so often.
But the other game that I've been playing a lot of recently. Well, there's two games. The other one that I've been playing very recently, like I literally stayed up till 12 o'clock this morning, playing was Power Wash Simulator, which just seems to have taken my my interest in just how nice and chill that game is. You know, it's available on Game Pass for PC. It's also on Steam for like 20 quid or something like that, and I can easily like see myself spending 30-40 hours in it, just chilling out, just power washing cars and houses and stuff. It's one of those very like, it is entirely a chill game. It's designed as that. Like there's no rush, you know, there's no penalties. It's you have a power washer, clean the thing that's dirty in front of you. That's it. That is the game. There's a sort of storyline through it, and supposedly there's a bit of a twist at the end, so I'll find that when I get to it. But that's like that one. It's amazing how much a silly little thing like, oh, let's just do it. Like all these simulator games that are coming out are just like, people look at these as chores, but people are literally putting hundreds of hours into the simulator versions when they don't want to do it themselves for their own house or something like that. It's like, what the hell? But the other game is one that you played and recommended to me, which is Zell. Which has, you were right, has really rather gone, like, not gone to my head, but has found a place in my heart, even with all the bugs. Wow. Okay,
so there are more. There are more than what I encountered.
I've not come across as many. Like, I've come across every single one you mentioned very quickly. There are some other ones that may have already been fixed. I have
heard that they've managed to fix the weird freezing during combat.
They have. There's a new bug that's emerged because of that.
Okay.
There's a new bug that either emerged because of how they fixed that, or was hidden by that bug. And I don't know if they've put a fix out for that one yet, but I'll have to have a look. Where you notice some frame freezes and stutters just generally walking around. It's the loading of things, and it looks like you can kind of, in certain scenarios, you kind of walking away and you get a single stutter, and then everything at the edge of your screen pops in. And it's like, yeah, okay, right. They've not got their distance culling is a little.
I mean, in fairness, they are an indie studio.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, and there's still issues with, unfortunately, some of the cutscenes and voice lines getting cut short.
Yes.
I have a feeling I know what that is. Their primary language is German. I think the sentences that are getting cut are the ones that are very short in German.
Yes, they're not right. Yes, that makes sense. When they've translated them, the sentences are longer in English, but the cutscene timers are set to German, so they just cut them.
That's my theory. Yeah. I'd have to ask someone that actually speaks German to confirm that.
It's likely. It's likely that it's a translation issue of... Once it's been translated, the sentences are longer, and that means that,
But the voice lines are that, like, it's almost entirely, as far as I've got, I've had one line that wasn't voice acted, and I think that may have just been a timer issue because the next line after it was, but the jokes in there are brilliant. Like, there's a couple that there's definitely a couple that you'll have missed because you didn't go as far, that are just like, wait, what? Hang on.
I did see quite a few jokes here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, like my main issue at the end of the day was the fact that it was incredibly difficult to play on mouse and keyboard, and that's my main method of play.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think I would have been fine if that wasn't there. I think the rest of the bugs I would have been happy to live with.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that after playing through and taking a look at the keyboard and mouse bindings, it's definitely a game for controller. They've built it controller first. I would not be surprised if actually they built it for the Switch first and just went, actually, we can release this on PC as well. How difficult would it be to get the bindings in? Oh, we'll just do that quickly, and they may not have tested it that way. So it's like several games I've come across. controller is it's not just like the recommended, it is the preferred and almost required method control because of the nature of it. WAS and D just have a bit too much of a binary input to be able to do either slow walking or the gradial analog, straight up analog movement that's useful in top down games like that. So yeah, there's definitely some bugs that are one of the reasons why I'm not going back to it for a bit. I am quite literally keeping an eye on the
patch notes.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the patch notes, keeping an eye on their Twitter. I will be, hopefully, I'm going to put a hopefully in there, doing a video on it, going through like what I thought about it, a proper thoughts video, going over it, and a hopes for the future sort of thing for it as a deep dive myself. When I'll do that is anybody's guess. Time is an illusion. But that's like I want to see this do well because I can see it being quite a good little indie star almost. It's got some great gameplay, great story so far. There's a lot to it. Like, I'm several hours in, and I'm 6 hours in. I've seen one boss, and I've started getting towards the second boss, and I don't know how many there are. Like, I could see this being 20 or 30 hours easy. There's a whole crafting lot and stuff like that. So I'm very hopeful for where this ends up in the future. And they've also done it as like, it's not an early access game. I was lucky enough to get a key for it, but it's, I would definitely say, actually for the price, it's £11.40 right now. Not even on offer. It is just surprisingly cheap for a game there. And as another minor selling point, it's got a female protagonist, which is uncommon.
Actually quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The female protagonist.
I wish more games had female protagonists. I was so happy when I watched Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time, and I was like, yes, badass female character who is shooting people. Do not fuck with this lady. She will kill you. I like this.
She's definitely more snarky in the second game. Much more snarky.
I want to play the second game. Yeah. I want to play the first game.
First game's on PC. Second game isn't out on PC yet.
I know it's on PC. I don't have the money to buy it on PC. It's just like, yeah, I know these games are out. I know they're around. I want to play them. I am poor. At the end of the day, there's not much I can do about that last thing.
Yeah. But definitely... Yeah, it's definitely nice to see a game that's, especially like a Zelda-like. Because that's what it is. It's a Zelda... It's a Zelda-like with
it's a Zelda-like
crafting survival on it as well. That seems to be doing something slightly different. There's no spoilers, but there is a interesting mechanic in there that you learn on the way through first boss. I think it's the first boss. Yeah, we learn on the way through to the first boss, which is I did that. I used the mechanic, and I immediately there's probably a clip of me just going, oh, this opens up so many problems for future puzzles. It's like, oh god. So yeah, it's got so much so much hopeful potential, and I'm looking forward to going back to it to finish it. So yeah, Zell, and at the price, like, I'll look over the bugs for the price. If it was 20 to 30 quid, I'd be a little bit more. But,
a little bit more skeptical.
But at the price, generally. I mean, as a small studio, tiny raw games, yeah, well done. Please.
I think is Tiny Raw the publisher or the developer?
Publisher is Assemble Entertainment.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Who have done a few other games, including Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. So they've done popular games for different reasons.
Yes, I remember looking through that, and I remember looking through the inordinate amount of sequels that game got.
Leisure Suit Larry has so many games, and it is such a... It's a very lewd game. It's a very lewd game for a mainstream game. Because it's not...
Yeah.
I don't think it's truly lewd. I think it's just like... It's rude.
Yeah.
It's what it is. But yeah, so... But yeah, no, I am very, 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 very hopeful for Zell and how it goes in the future. Probably in the next couple of months, unfortunately, because I know how long software development takes. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah. I think that brings us to probably the last thing to chat about, looking at the time, would be what we played last night as well. MultiVersus.
Oh, God, yeah, MultiVersus. I enjoyed it, honestly. It was fun.
I was surprised by that game, because I've not looked at several Super Smash Brothers clones and competitors and stuff like that, and they all miss something. And MultiVersus it's got differences, which is fine, absolutely fine, but it got a large amount it right, and got some things I think slightly better.
Really?
You've played Super Smash Brothers, haven't you? Or
nope.
Or any of the Super Smash Brothers
before
series?
MultiVersus, I had never played a Smash-like game.
Okay, so with Super Smash Brothers, especially Ultimate, which is the current version on Switch, it's a very fast game, and there is a lot to learn. Like an absolute mountain of stuff, because each character's got multiple specials, multiple standard attacks, blocks and effects, and there's all the items to worry about and various other things like that. And coming in on the ground floor on MultiVersus it's been out 2 weeks or so now in thing, and it's free, which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
The gameplay is slower. It gets a bit manic mid-fight, as you know, we found. But the gameplay itself is slower. The characters move with purpose. Like, Superman, he's not exactly the fast. He is one of the fastest men on Earth, but he's also not exactly the fastest man on Earth in the game, because he's just
one of my favorite
forwards.
Things that I've actually found is, like, when I was playing other characters, I wasn't particularly happy with my movement. But then I switched to Batman. Batman has the ability to glide across the screen. He also has the ability to attack on a diagonal.
Several of them have that, but not all of them.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Of just being able to descend on a diagonal and hit someone in the face. That was fun. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And definitely with it being slower is probably as I say, like the is the wrong word, but also the way it felt. Like
I've
you've
seen
got time to
gameplay
think
of
of it.
Smash.
Yeah.
I've seen gameplay of Smash, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Where is everything going? I don't know what's happening. And I played MultiVersus, and I was like, okay, I can strategize here. I'm button mashing, but also I can use a bat bomb here. I can use a smoke grenade. I can use Vatarang. I need to glide. I need to hold onto this wall. If I don't hold onto this wall, I know that I'm going to end up in the drink. Or
falling off the edge. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of that, and the other thing that I really like, and I don't think is in Smash, is the cooperative nature of the skills.
The perk system.
That perk system was just... Is it perk? Yeah, I think it's perks.
It's perks, yeah. I liked that it was like, yes, if you both take this perk, it will be better.
Yeah.
Like especially the match that we had where we both took 2 air control skills.
Oh,
and
God.
Suddenly it was just like we were going so fast all over the place that
I actually died because of that. I died because of that because I was playing Finn.
I really enjoyed that
because Finn's a lot of Finn's stuff is an assassin, so he's a lot of dashing across the place. And there was a lot of times it was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna jump up off the wall, go around and hit them there. No, I jumped up, past them, fell off the other side. I was like, oh,
yeah.
That was hilarious.
Honestly, that was one of the matches that I enjoyed the most because
that was the hardest one as well.
As Batman, you're constantly trying to stay in the air, basically.
Yeah.
But when you're in the air, the rate at which you descend is very slow, like generally. But with that 20% extra, like acceleration, I was going down onto people's heads so quickly, it was brilliant.
Yeah. And that particular match went to it went to the third match because it was just so tight. It was so interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back to MultiVersus and play a bit more, whether off stream or not, just because there is a lot to it. Yeah,
it's a fun little time waster, if you will.
It's not cheap, even though it's free, but also because I think we figured it out. It comes to about £50 to unlock everything if you pay.
Or gameplay,
a lot
or
of
just gameplay. But in fairness, it's okay. I say in fairness, in reality, it is a game that is free, but also it's a game that's made by Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
which
they've monetized it kind of similar to other games previously. Where I'm not so much against the monetization, and as a fighting game, the monetization makes a bit more sense. Where you have to pay for cosmetics. All cosmetics are paid for, I think, apart from like very few. But any of the really nice ones are definitely going to be paid for. And then you can either earn in-game currency or pay money to unlock specific characters. Otherwise, they have a character rotation that changes every couple of weeks, and I'm not so much against that because it definitely chops and changes and means you don't end up with like stale characters and everything gets a time in the sun.
Yeah.
But it's
a bit like League in that respect, isn't it?
Yeah, League of Legends, Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm. God rest its soul.
Yeah.
And all those sort of games. Yeah, no, it's very, very much that. And it's still, but I'm looking forward to, hopefully, one thing I do want to see, I want to see them increase the player cap in some games. I want to see 4v4. I want to see that. Even if it's only in like
I'd like to see 4v4, to be honest.
But I
think that would be fun.
Yeah. I think they've also got they've already got tournament, like lobby tournament set up. I think I'm not 100% sure on that.
Although, if they're going to do 4v4, I think they need to like make increased map sizes for 4v4.
I mean, it would be it would definitely be they'd need the maps for it. They've obviously done the thing of focusing on 2v2 maximum, get the maps just right, simple. Because obviously in Smash you get. I think it's still 4v4. I think it's up to 4 player still. So I might be wrong. It's been a while, but yes. So you might see MultiVersus again on some of the co-op nights, or just in general, just as a chill bit, maybe with viewers. However, I think that brings us to close. So I think
it does.
It's time for Lucian to do some shout-outs. Lucian?
Thank you all very much for joining us this evening, everyone. I have been Lucian V Ghost. I am on YouTube and I am on Twitch. I stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. UK time, and I am actually going live right now over on Twitch. So we'll see you there. Thank you all very much for joining us. And over to you, Sliver.
Yeah. And I'm TBSliver. I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. I still haven't changed it from saying GMT, but London, UK time. So I will be live again tomorrow with probably some Power Wash Simulator, because I'm quite honestly quite honestly liking that game and just chilling out this week. So yeah, apart from that, Lucian has already disappeared because he's already gone live. Thank you everyone for joining. If you haven't already, hit the like button on the video. It really helps us out. Press subscribe and get notified when we go live again. We will be live again in 2 weeks' time, and hopefully this time having a Sarin, or maybe even a Cades or somebody. You know, we'll be updating the roster as well as we go, and there may even be an announcement next time. You'll have to come here to find out what it is, unless you were paying attention last night. But we will be announcing something soon that will help all you lot. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Ta-ra.